9-year-old dropped into a perfect fighting stance in the middle of the ballroom. Ethan Park hadn't spoken in 14 months, hadn't made eye contact, hadn't smiled, but now his feet planted shoulder-width apart, hands raised, eyes locked on the woman, pushing a janitorial cart past the champagne fountain. His father, tech billionaire James Park, felt his stomach drop. 200 corporate executives went silent. Security guards moved forward, but the janitor, a tired-looking woman in a gray uniform, smiled. She set down her trash bag, dropped into a matching stance, and waited. Ethan, no. James rushed forward, but his son moved first. A textbook roundhouse kick, stopping inches from the woman's head. She didn't flinch. Instead, she adjusted his back foot with one hand. Rotate 15 degrees more. You'll triple your power. Ethan corrected his stance immediately. Then he bowed. Deep and formal. The janitor bowed back. The ballroom erupted in chaos. James Park built Park Technologies from nothing. He knew how to handle crises, manage scandals, control narratives. But watching his silent, disconnected son interact with a stranger made him feel completely powerless. Security, remove her, his CFO barked. Wait. The word came from Sarah, James's wife. She gripped his arm. Look at him. Ethan was smiling. Actually smiling. The janitor spoke quietly, demonstrating a defensive block. Ethan copied her movement. Clumsy, but focused. She corrected his elbow angle. He adjusted. They moved through 3 more techniques while 200 people watched in stunned silence. When they finished, Ethan bowed again. Then walked calmly back to his seat and put on his headphones like nothing happened. James intercepted the janitor before she could escape. Who are you? He demanded. Ana Martinez. I clean this building Monday through Friday. She met his eyes without flinching. And before you ask, yes, I know martial arts. No, I wasn't trying to make a scene. Your son initiated contact. I responded respectfully. He hasn't interacted with anyone in over a year. Maybe he recognized something familiar. Anna picked up her trash bag. I need to finish my shift. I'll pay you. Whatever you want. Teach him. Work with him. Name your price. No. The word hit James like a slap. Excuse me? I'm not for sale, Mr. Park. Neither is your son's progress. What happened here was human connection. You can't buy that. She started walking. James followed. Then tell me how to help him. Give me something. Anna stopped, reached into her pocket, and pulled out a worn business card. Phoenix Rising. Adaptive Martial Arts. We meet Tuesdays and Thursdays in the Bronx. 20 kids. All different abilities. We've been running 18 months on donations and hope. James read the card. You run a program? My sister and I started it. We've applied to your foundation 3 times. Rejected every time. Insufficient data, apparently. Her voice stayed level, but James heard the edge underneath. You want to help your son? Show up. Participate. Don't try to control it. When can we visit? Thursday. 6 p.m. Don't bring cameras or assistants. Just you and Ethan. Anna stepped into the service elevator. And Mr. Park? In my dojo, money doesn't matter. Everyone bows. Everyone follows the rules. Everyone shows respect. The elevator doors closed. The Phoenix Rising Center occupied a converted warehouse basement. Peeling paint, cracked mirrors, foam mats covering concrete. James had spent millions on Ethan's therapy, occupational, physical, speech, behavioral. This place looked like it survived on pocket change. But the energy stopped him cold. 15 kids moved through forms. Some wore traditional uniforms. Others had modified clothing for braces and medical equipment. One girl in a wheelchair executed upper body techniques with fierce precision. Every single child was completely focused. Control, Anna called out, moving between students. Control of your body, your emotions, your space. Master control, master yourself. Ethan's grip on James's hand tightened. New environments triggered shutdowns. James prepared to leave. Then Anna saw them. She crossed the room and crouched to Ethan's level without invading his space. Hey, champion. Remember me? Ethan's hands moved, hesitant. Signing. Hi, Anna translated. Yeah. Hi back. She gestured to the other students. These are the Phoenix Warriors. Wanna watch? Ethan nodded once. For 45 minutes, James watched something that rewired his understanding of progress. The wheelchair student worked combinations emphasizing upper body strength. A boy with cerebral palsy practiced balance forms adapted to his gait. Twin sisters with autism sparred with perfect awareness of each other's space and boundaries. Every few minutes, voices shouted in unison, "Warriors rise, warriors respect, warriors persist." An older woman appeared beside James. Dr. Elena Martinez. Neurologist. Anna's sister. You're a doctor working in a basement? I'm a researcher developing adaptive methodologies that actually work. Elena's tone was matter-of-fact. Traditional therapy focuses on fixing what's broken. We focus on building what's possible. There's a difference. What kind of results? Improved motor control, better emotional regulation, enhanced social skills. Kids told they'd never live independently now advocating for themselves. Elena nodded toward Ethan. Your son smiled at that gala because he recognized patterns. Structure. Respect. His brain felt safe enough to engage. Class. Anna's voice cut through the space. We have a visitor. Ethan. Wanna try one move? Just one. No pressure. James started to object. But Ethan was already walking forward. Anna guided him to the mat. Remember your stance? Ethan moved into position. Nearly perfect, despite only doing it once before. 2 days ago. Good. Now, martial arts is conversation without words. Someone pushes, you redirect. Try with me? Anna pushed gently at Ethan's shoulder. Following her demonstration, Ethan shifted weight, turned his body, deflected her hand away, and laughed. A real laugh. Pure delight at his own success. Again? Anna asked. Ethan nodded eagerly. They repeated it 10 times. Other students gathered, offering encouragement. Nobody stared at Ethan's differences. Nobody treated him as fragile. Just another student learning. After 15 minutes, Ethan bowed to Anna, then turned and bowed to James. His hand signed slowly. Stay. Learn. James's throat tightened. You want me to stay? Ethan nodded. Looks like you're joining class, Mr. Park, Anna said. Fair warning, everyone follows the same rules. 3 months changed everything. James learned that bowing wasn't weakness, it was respect. That falling during practice hurt less than the damage his ego had taken. That his son, given proper structure and space, was capable of far more than any specialist predicted. Most importantly, he learned to listen. Phoenix Rising operated on a budget that wouldn't cover his company's coffee expenses. Anna and Elena did everything, taught classes, handled administration, maintained equipment, fundraised. They survived on donations and personal savings. Why not apply to other foundations? James asked one evening, watching Ethan practice with 2 other kids. We have 52 applications over 2 years, 4 grants funded, totaling $18,000, barely covers insurance. Anna wiped down mats. Most foundations want traditional metrics, test scores, clinical assessments. We have those. Elena's research is solid, but we also have something harder to measure. Kids finding joy in their bodies again. That doesn't fit in spreadsheets. My foundation rejected you 3 times. Your foundation rejected us because we don't fit the charity model they understand. Anna's voice stayed gentle but firm. We're not asking to be saved, Mr. Park. We're asking to be invested in. There's a difference. James thought about that constantly. During board meetings, where he realized his foundation's decision-makers had 0 contact with communities they claimed to serve. When reviewing rejected proposals, seeing bias patterns against grassroots programs led by women and people of color. When Ethan had a meltdown at home but recovered in half the normal time using breathing techniques Anna taught him. And 3 months after their first visit, when Ethan walked up to him and signed, "More Phoenix. Every day." Absolutely not. Anna's arms crossed. I know where this goes. James had expected resistance, not fury. You haven't heard the proposal. Don't need to. You'll write a check. Take control. Turn us into another foundation line item. No thanks. That's not. James stopped, breathed. Months of patience lessons kicked in. Please, 5 minutes. They stood in Phoenix Rising's cramped facility, the space that somehow produced more genuine transformation than million-dollar rehab centers. James pulled out his tablet. Park Foundation will fund construction of a dedicated Phoenix Rising facility. 8,000 square feet. Adaptive equipment. Proper accessibility features. 6 full-time instructor salaries. 3-year operational budget. Anna's expression didn't change. In exchange for what? Curriculum control? Your logo everywhere? In exchange for you maintaining complete operational control. You and Elena run everything. Make all decisions. Foundation provides resources. You retain autonomy. Why? Elena's question came quiet but sharp. Why trust us now after 3 rejections? James had several diplomatic answers ready, but these women taught him that honesty mattered more. Because I was wrong. Because my foundation evaluated you based on systems designed for traditional programs. Because we demanded you fit our boxes, instead of recognizing the boxes were wrong. He paused. Because my son made more progress here in 3 months than 3 years of conventional therapy. Because you're doing work that matters and I can help it reach more families. And because you taught me that being a good father means following my son's lead, not controlling his path. Silence stretched out. What metrics? Anna finally asked. Whatever you determine is important. We're not imposing outcomes. And if your board disagrees, then I'll change the board. James's voice stayed flat. Certain. This isn't negotiable. Anna and Elena exchanged that wordless sibling look. Elena nodded slightly. Conditions, Anna said. We choose the location stays in this community. We approve all hires. We control curriculum. Families pay what they can, which means many pay nothing. No corporate events. No photo ops with our kids. And your name doesn't go on the building. It's Phoenix Rising Center. Not Park Center. Just Phoenix Rising. Agreed. You didn't even hesitate. I've been thinking about it for 3 months. Everything you said makes sense. He smiled slightly. One condition, though. Anna's eyes narrowed. What? Ethan continues as a regular student. No special treatment. And I volunteer when my schedule allows. I want to keep learning. Anna smiled, the first genuine smile she'd given James. Deal. They shook hands. 18 months later, the Phoenix Rising Center opened quietly. The building was designed with input from every student and family. 3 training areas, proper equipment, changing rooms for various mobility needs, a quiet room for sensory breaks, but the most important feature was the wall in the main area. Every student who completed 3 months added their handprint, a growing testament to persistence and community. Ethan Park's handprint was first. James stood in the observation area, watching Ethan move through advanced forms. His son attended 4 times weekly now, still struggled with verbal communication but had extensive sign vocabulary and occasionally used brief phrases. More importantly, he was confident, happy. When challenges arose, he had tools to manage them. He understood falling was part of learning. He's speaking the motto today, Sarah whispered beside James. Anna thinks he's ready. James watched as class began with the ritual he'd come to love. Students lined up, bowed to Anna, then to each other, then recited, "Warriors rise, warriors respect, warriors persist." Ethan's voice was quiet but present. "He's talking," James breathed. Sarah's eyes filled with tears. Just those phrases. Started 2 weeks ago. His therapist thinks the physical practice, the structure, the community, all of it created pathways that made speech possible again. They watched Ethan complete his kata, movements still slightly stiff but precise, controlled, deliberate. When he finished, other students applauded genuinely. Ethan walked to the center and signed while speaking aloud, voice rough but determined. 14 months ago, I stopped talking, stopped trying. Thought I was broken. Anna and Elena and all of you showed me I wasn't broken, just different. Different paths to same place. Warriors persist. The observation room erupted. James cried openly, not caring who saw. 3 years later, Phoenix Rising methodology expanded to 19 cities. Dr. Elena Martinez's research appeared in major journals, demonstrating outcomes conventional therapy deemed impossible. Anna Martinez was featured in publications, though she preferred spending time on the mat with students. Park Foundation restructured completely. Board members now spent time in communities they served. Grant decisions included community input. Grassroots program rejections dropped 60%. And Ethan Park, at 14, earned his black belt. The ceremony was held at the original center. Present were the 20 students from the first class. Ethan Park, Elena said formally, you've demonstrated skill, control, and dedication. But more importantly, you've shown true strength, lies not in never falling, but in always rising. Do you accept this rank? I do. Ethan's speech was careful but clear. Anna tied the belt around his waist, bowed deeply. Ethan bowed back. Then he gestured for James to join him on the mat. James approached uncertainly. Ethan signed and spoke simultaneously. Warriors respect others. You respected Anna when it was hard. You respected me enough to follow my path. You earned this too. He bowed to his father. And James Park, Billionaire whose name appeared on buildings across the globe, felt this moment being bowed to by his son in a community center was his greatest achievement. He bowed back, deeper and longer than required. 5 years after that first kick in a corporate ballroom, Phoenix Rising methodology transformed adaptive sports therapy. The approach was taught in hospitals, schools, community centers. Insurance companies covered it. Universities developed programs around it. Anna still taught Tuesday and Thursday classes at the original center. Because some things weren't about scaling. Some things were about showing up for kids who needed someone to believe in them. James attended when possible. Still a parent volunteer, still learning. Ethan was preparing to open the 20th Phoenix Rising Center while studying occupational therapy, specializing in adaptive sports. His speech was fluid now, though he preferred sign language for complex thoughts. He'd found his voice. Not the one lost in the accident, but a new one forged through falling and rising, through practice and patience, through understanding that strength comes not from never struggling, but from refusing to quit. On every Phoenix Rising Center wall, above the handprints, hung the same phrase: warriors rise, warriors respect, warriors persist. Below it, your path is your own. We walk beside you. If this story touched you, please subscribe, hit like, and comment below. Have you or someone you love found unexpected healing paths? What moments changed how you see disability or strength? Share your story in the comments. Your experience might inspire someone else.